What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the newest episode. Devin the Bear here to actually really want to point out real quick. We really appreciate the love and support that we've gotten recently on Miles Banks' most recent post. To him kind of talking a little bit about his mindset, talking about who he is as a person. We had a great time with him. We really did. Not trying to be lame about it. Like, he was a cool ass dude to sit and chill with. We've seen him fight. We enjoy watching him fight, and we hope y'all enjoy the conversation we got to have with him as well. With that being said, also check us out on Instagram at Devin the Bear. Check us up on YouTube, on Facebook. What else we got?
iTunes, Spotify, all that stuff. Any listening platform, that's where you can find us. If you want to interact with us, YouTube and Instagram will be the way to go. We do have Facebook, but Facebook sucks.
And it does. We actually just got some fan interaction the other day too. Well,
from was it Boogie? Shout
out to that
gave us some pretty good ideas,
insights,
And we sat and talked about Miles Banks for a little bit, and it was cool to see someone take an interest, not just in what we post, but in the fighters that we talk about, because that's the whole point.
Yeah, and so anything that brings a spotlight to these guys who make time to come out and hang out with us. So speaking of that,
follow.
Well, yeah. Actually, I just saw that too. Speaking of people who like to, that are good friends of ours is Carlos Nava. He recently just became 9-0 this past weekend with another amazing performance. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Y'all need to start fucking with my boy, honestly, bro. Like, y'all are missing out on greatness in the making. That's no bullshit.
Yeah, I was watching it, and I won't name drop, but someone said they were like, wow, this seems kind of empty. And I was like, well, yeah, it's prelims. He's on the prelims of the card. They're not there for him, but they should be.
Eventually they will be. And,
he'll be the headliner of a pay-per-view one day,
and we're gonna be there like we told y'all. So this dude throws down. But I mean, man, we actually recently talked with Carlos as well. He's about coming on, so we'll talk more in depth about his fight whenever he comes on. But I mean, really check him out, dude. Like, that dude is as down to earth as it gets, but he is one of the hardest working athletes I've ever met. Like, that dude has a work ethic that's unmatched. I mean, on top of that, we see him fight, and he only has to do so many little adjustments in a fight to win the fight. He has so many tools in his arsenal, and it's absolutely fucking crazy to see him going as far as he is, man. I mean, he's fighting on the undercard Golden Boy Promotions, was super freaking cool.
Yeah, not even 10. Yeah, not even 10 fights yet, and he's fighting for Golden Boy. His last opponent was 30-10, so very experienced.
Veteran of the sport, winning record as well.
Probably the winningest fighter that Carlos has ever fought. Yeah. And Carlos made him look like a child.
And that's the thing is, a lot of people who watch boxing say, oh, well, these fighters just cherry pick their fights and this and that. Look at Carlos Nava. I can tell you right now, he's not cherry picking his fights. He's fought some serious, some up and coming talent as well.
Yeah, early on he was fighting up and coming talent.
Yeah,
and now he's fighting guys who are very, very experienced. Yeah, like that Guido that he fought. The guy's last name was Guido. Christopher, I think. Chris Guido, something. Yeah. And that dude had 40 fights?
Yeah,
or something like that.
Just in boxing, that wasn't Muay Thai either.
Yeah, and he came from a Muay Thai background, so it's like his opponent pool is changing as he's getting better. So you really see it translate into these fights too, because early on he was just going off and teeing off on these guys.
Yeah,
and he had to start being a little bit more tactical with it.
Yeah.
And I think he's putting everything together, and I feel like we saw that in this fight because he came out with really, really aggressive combinations, and then you kind of see him find the punches, or have his punches find their home, and he starts getting comfortable, and it's kind of over from there.
Yeah, it was, talk with him a little bit. Like he said, he made all the reads to win in less than 30 seconds. I mean, nobody who has an eye like that,
Yeah.
It's real, some of the best are able to say that, and I think Carlos eventually will be that. So definitely check him out on his Instagram. Check it out, his next fight. He's looking to fight pretty soon as well. So hopefully that gets made.
I hope he's got some news coming. Hopefully that's pretty big. I'm very excited for it if it does go down the way he's hoping.
Yeah.
But with this last fight,
and boxers, take this as an example to be more active. Stop cherry picking shit. Get in there.
Just get out there.
Yeah.
Carlos fights 4 times a year.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
Which is
he's tried for more. I know that.
He tries for more. They just always say no.
So. Yeah, in this fight, he was landing really good with his combinations. He was just waiting for the right hand to really start landing the way he wanted it to. And I feel like his left hook to the body was just over and over again, destroying that guy's side. It was awesome.
Every time I talk to him, though, I tell him, like, why do you hit them so hard? Like, he just laughs. I'm like, dude, you hit them like they owe you money or something, man. Jesus. But, yeah, man, definitely check him out. So to also lead into that, some more local fighters that we also keep up with as well is this weekend's upcoming Fury event.
Yeah, there's a lot of names on that card that if you pay attention to these Fury fights that you'll recognize. I'm just going to run through a handful of the ones that I know. There's Derek Agaday, Emmanuel Garcia, Michael Murphy, Jordan Plutine, Oliver Jimenez. We have Carlos Jimenez. We have Emily Whitmire, Hector Sainz, Luis Luna, Jake Heffernan. We have Santiago Guzman, Nicholas Compton, Nico Echeverry, Eric Mercado, Justice Torres, Peter Caballero, Jonathan Davis, Josh Van, Paris Moran, Nate Richardson, and Hussein Aliyev. This whole card's going to be pretty freaking sweet.
The second you said Jonathan Davis, so I'm like...
Yeah, we've seen him fight before. I don't know if you remember. Yeah. That card is going to be really freaking sick. But for starters, one of the first fights that I'm really looking forward to, one of the reasons that we're there, is going to be Oliver Jimenez taking on Jose Lemus. Oliver told me that his opponent should be a Muay Thai fighter, so that should play into what Oliver's kind of wanting. And I really think we're gonna see Oliver turn things around. His last fight didn't go how he'd want it to. It didn't go how anybody would have wanted it to. But I think that was just meant to be a learning experience, and I think he's learned from it. And I think this one he's going to come out swinging pretty full force. I
mean, I expect I expect Oliver to go out there and just do exactly what he does best, and that's just beat the shit out of people. I mean, the way that we've seen it whenever he won the Fury Amateur Series Bantamweight title, just the way he's able to pick people apart. It takes people to learn that over time, and I know that he is experienced for being as young as he is, but it takes people a very, very long time to really fully understand how to do that and do that the right way, But I really look forward to seeing him fight again. I always look forward to seeing any of those heritage guys fight,
Yeah, so their striking is just so clean.
Yeah.
So I expect him to put on another clinic.
Yeah.
And get right back on track with a win.
Jordan Plutine, I have yet to see him fight, so I'm looking forward to that.
I'm very excited to see him. That dude is very aggressive. He's got so much finesse with his striking, and when he moves from striking to the ground, it's very clean. I'm very excited to see what he can do live. Santiago Guzman, we've seen him fight before. That dude's awesome. But one fight I'm really excited for is Nicholas Compton fighting Nico Echeverry. I love Nico's ground game. I'm a big fan of jiu-jitsu. I always will be. His jiu-jitsu is top tier. Anyone from ACS, generally, if you're one of their guys, you're gonna have good ground game.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty excited to see him go out there and win. We've talked with him. He's such a nice guy. I don't think even his opponent's probably gonna be like, man, I don't want you to lose. You're too nice.
Yeah.
And then another fight. This is probably actually the fight that I'm most excited for. Is Justice Torres and Eric Mercado. We've seen Mercado fight. His jiu-jitsu is really freaking good. We've seen Justice fight. He's just all around exciting. We've talked to him a little bit, and he's a really cool dude. Another Metro guy that's just really fun to watch. So I'm really hoping we get to watch an exciting fight there. I think that if Fury had a fight of the night, I know they have that boombox thing. But if they had a fight of the night, I would say this is going to be it. I think those guys are going to go back and forth, even when it's on the ground.
Yeah.
Because Justice has some pretty good ground game as well. And I think that one should be very exciting. Jonathan Davis and Peter Caballero should be very good. Josh Van and Paris Moran, that fight I think is going to be also very exciting. Josh Van is very good, very fun to watch. And I think that this is going to be the fight that kind of makes his name a lot bigger around Houston. I've seen his name several times. I haven't seen him fight, so I'm looking forward to it. And then the main event is going to be Nate Richardson and Hussein Aliyev. That fight's going to be pretty... It's a good way to cap off a really solid card for the night. So I'm August 14th, the Escapade.
Yep.
2001.
Yep.
Yeah, Escapade for Fury. That should be really solid. Very much looking forward to that. And that'll bring us to the recent and upcoming UFC.
Oh yeah, I'll take this one away.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be actually headlined by let's see, we have Marlon Cheeto Vera taking on Dominic Cruz in the main event. I mean, there's a lot to talk about with this card. Some people might want us to talk more dive into it, but this is really what I want to talk about, and I think you might feel the same.
Absolutely.
This fight is like bananas, dude. Like, there's no other way to put it. Like, there's gonna be nuts in that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be fucking crazy because, like, you have the incredible footwork of Dominic Cruz going against the relentless style of Cheeto Vera, who just constant forward pressure. I mean, styles make fights, and I think this is gonna be a good one. I expect a lot. What's that? With Dominic Cruz, we saw him kind of get the cobwebs knocked out off his, off of him last time with his last fight with Pedro Munoz. That it needed to happen. People kept talking about he doesn't get hurt. His footwork confuses people. And I was watching that fight today, and the second they said that, he got dropped. But since then though, like, I mean, the rest of that fight, we finally saw Dominic Cruz fight like Dominic Cruz.
Yeah.
I know Dominic Cruz has always sworn that there's no such thing as ring rust, and I think he has shown plenty of it recently. And but with that being said, as I said earlier though, is like, he looked like old Dominic Cruz's last fight, and I think Pedro Munoz had to clean his clock a little bit for it, but it was well worth it because who Dominic Cruz is in his prime makes it for a great matchup with somewhere like Cheeto Vera.
You want to talk about cleaning someone's clock?
Yeah.
Cheeto Vera is very good at that.
Yeah.
He will catch you left and right if you're not paying attention. Yeah. You're talking about Dominic Cruz, who's one of the greatest bantamweights of all time, if not the greatest.
Right.
Depending on who you ask.
I'd say he's the greatest.
I still say it too. And then you have Cheeto Vera, who was kind of sitting in the shadows until recently, and now he's on his way to being, at least in talks, for being one of the greatest.
Right.
And I think with his rise, how quickly he is just really shooting up in the ranks. And it's not ever like he was ever a bad fighter. I don't think anybody ever thought he was a bad fighter, but just he really paid attention to everything that was going on and what his game was, and adjusted it to where he needed to get it to be. And now he's fighting Dominic Cruz.
Yeah.
And he's headlining a card. Is it the second time he's headlining?
Yes, sir.
So I think that's really freaking cool. It's really cool just to see Cheeto's style get used because, like you were saying, it's very relentless. It's very aggressive. But what I think is, if he wins, I imagine he'll be the favorite. But what I think is most interesting is, what if Dominic Cruz wins?
Right. That's going to fuck up the whole division.
Yeah. It puts his name right back in there. And like people always talk about Henry Cejudo if he comes back, and how Henry wants a title shot when he comes back.
Right.
Dominic Cruz never does that. He generally has never done that. And when he loses, he has to work his way back up, and he does it every time. So is this him working his way back up to a title shot?
So. Yeah, I'd say so.
I would say so too. And a win over Cheeto Vera would make that kind of hard to argue. So if, say, Dominic Cruz does win this, does he get a title shot?
Dominic Cruz wins this, he gets a title shot? Well, so you got to look at it like this. Like, look at the title picture right now. You have Aljamain. I'm probably going to make this a longer explanation than it needs to be, huh? I feel like you have to look at the whole picture.
Let me preface this then. Yeah. Dominic Cruz, we know who he is. We know what he's capable of. We see him coming back to being in the top guys. Do you risk letting your big name go out there and lose to a 2 or a 3, or do you give him the title shot because you know he doesn't have a whole lot of time left and you know that could sell?
Yeah.
Obviously, you have to figure out what's going to happen with Sterling now that he's the champ indefinitely. But what's the situation with Dillashaw and Sandhagen?
I was going to get into all this. I haven't a way to word it. So, yes, if Dominic Cruz wins, give him the title shot.
Because you have to let them figure that stuff out. I think Peter Yan's going to fight O'Malley.
Dillashaw's fighting the champ, Aljo.
Yeah.
Pretorian's fighting Sean O'Malley, so they let them do their thing. Who else we got? We got this fight actually is like a really big one. Merab Dvalishvili's taking on Jose Aldo. That fight's booked.
That's in bantamweight.
Yeah,
I don't think that.
And so that does affect it though, because there are some out giving Jose Aldo the title shot. But what if Merab goes out there and beats him? That's Aljo's teammate. They're not going to fight each other. They've already said it, and so that fucks up that. So why not give it to Dominic Cruz if he's to win?
And then who's ranked higher? I'm sure Merab's much higher up there.
No.
I was gonna say much higher up. What rank is he?
He's like 6, I think. 5 or 6.
And where's Cruz and
Cruz is
Cheeto?
like 9. Cheeto's actually I think Cheeto's 6.
Okay,
but I know for sure up there.
So that's what I'm saying though. They're all top 10 guys. Yeah. Aldo and Cruz, I could see being the ones to get the next title shot. One of them. Yeah. So have them fight for the title shot. Yeah. And then you get to freaking have Cruz and Aldo fight. How crazy is that?
Well, it's even
Uriah Faber's going to be sitting home watching that fight, just kicking himself.
Yeah. Or what's even going to suck, though, is if you think about it, is like, what if Dillashaw wins and he says, you know what, I want my rematch
with
Dominic Cruz. Yeah.
That would be
crazy
awesome.
As shit. It's coming full circle for these guys.
You give it some time, and it's weird how things work out.
Yeah, because they're all going to have to fight each other again.
Yeah.
And, the thing is, with Jose Aldo is still looking as good as he has. Now we're going to finally see those matchups that we wanted to see. We wanted to see him fight Dillashaw. We wanted to see him fight Cruz. But I feel like if Aldo gets that title shot and he loses, he retires, though. I think he calls it a career, which sucks because we never got to see those fights.
Where's Sandhagen?
Sandhagen's fighting Song Yudong.
Oh, okay.
So he doesn't fit.
So he's kind of further away then. Okay, I was curious about that because I was like, I know Dillashaw's going to be fighting for the title.
I love Song.
So that has to get cleared out. Sandhagen, where is he? He got pushed back, I guess. Okay.
I love Song Yudong, but I really want Sandhagen to win to keep his name up there.
Oh yeah, that's tough.
Yeah,
I'll be happy either way. I think. I love Sandhagen, but he's losing.
Yeah.
I don't want Song Yudong to lose because he hasn't had the chance to be up there yet.
Yeah.
Sandhagen had his chance. He needs to rebuild himself.
It's like Rob Font.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Rob Font's falling back too.
I don't know what's the deal with him though.
I think they just. Well, I don't know about Sandhagen, but I feel like with Font, he needs to change his style up a little bit. He needs to tweak some things. You can't just rely on your boxing. You can't just rely on your jab.
And I know I make it sound like I'm making it sound like he does horrible, but it's like
he does great. It's just you got to do a little bit more.
It didn't work 2 fights in a row it didn't work for almost a whole hour of fighting, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like it's time to kind of see what else you can do.
Exactly.
He got control on the ground by guys smaller than him. He used to fight at featherweight. I don't think that should be happening, you know.
Yeah.
He's a lot bigger than these other guys. So, but yeah, man. I mean, the Cruz and
Cruz, man.
Cheeto Vera, Cherovita. The Cheeto Vera fight. I mean, it's a great fight though. My
biggest worry is I could easily see Dominic Cruz getting knocked out early.
Yeah, me too.
He leaves his chin open, and he has his mouth hanging open the whole fight.
Or I see Cheeto Vera chasing him the whole fight and getting pissed off. That's how I
could kind of see that too.
But the other thing though,
and that'd be Dominic Cruz's thing.
I could see Cheeto Vera getting really, really pissed off, and then out of nowhere just flash knockout. You know.
I do kind of hope we get to see some of Dominic's head movement to a takedown.
Yeah.
Because he used to be so good at that. Dodging punches and then take someone down real clean. He did that to Uriah Faber several times. And I was always like, dude, you're freaking... Yeah. And I was like, you're ducking down under smaller guys' punches and taking them down.
Yeah. And you throw them, too.
And it's so freaking cool to watch.
Yeah.
That Demetrius Johnson one, that was on Spike, right?
I forgot what it was on.
It was either on Fuel or Spike. I remember watching
TV.
it. And I was just like... This is so freaking cool.
I remember watching that fight, and I was pretty pissed off because I wanted Demetrius Johnson to win.
Man, I'm such a big Dominic Cruz
fan. I hated him.
I love Demetrius Johnson, but that had to happen.
Yeah.
That had to happen for Demetrius Johnson.
Yeah, because that's what made him start training full time and everything like that. That changed his whole career path. But, I think, I don't know. I feel like Cheeto has more ways to win than
Dominic Cruz has... This is sort of an off-topic fact, but Dominic Cruz has never lost a title fight.
A 5-round main event?
No, not... Yeah, that's what it was.
Never lost a 5-round main event?
Yeah, dang it. Whoa, that's not even the fact. I completely lost the fact because I wanted to make sure I said it was off-topic.
really hope you remember it right now.
Yeah, this is terrible. Anyway, let's move on for the sake of listeners. Yeah, Dominic Cruz and Cheeto Vera.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Dominic is like I can't even say he's more set to go 5 rounds. We just let Cheeto go by 5 rounds. He's taking a pretty quick turnaround as well, and he looked fresh the whole time, like the whole fight. You know.
That's what it was.
What's up?
Dominic Cruz has never lost a fight that wasn't a title fight.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. The only times he's lost were 5-round fights or title fights, depending on what organization. Because then you go back far enough,
Yeah.
and he lost to Uriah Faber for the title, the WEC title. And then he lost to Cody Garbrandt and Henry Cejudo.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. It's freaking crazy, isn't it?
It's nuts.
And he's still winning.
Yeah. He's winning.
He is.
Are you winning, son?
But yeah, I just think that's freaking crazy to take. I do feel like you have to take that into account because, like, he obviously knows how to win these fights. That when the pressure is not so there, like it would be for a title fight.
Dude, imagine his nickname's the Dominator. If Cheeto Vera pays like Bruce Buffer like $5,000, and is like, hey, I want you to call him, say this, and he whispers in his ear, and he's like, Dom, the Dominatrix, just to throw him off his game. That'd be fucking funny.
Well, I think that'd be pretty lame.
It would be lame, but
I would be ashamed of Bruce Buffer.
It would be hilarious. It'd be kind of funny, bro. Just to fuck with him a little bit. Imagine if fighters like could actually do that though, like fuck with people like that, like pay somebody to like change someone's theme, like walkout music or their nickname or something, the cum guzzler, and just like what the fuck.
I wouldn't be a fan of that. That's getting very. Not even WWE.
It's just getting really cheesy.
Yeah.
Like really trashy. That'd be funny though. It'd be a little funny. Come on, dude.
I mean, it'd be funny, sure.
Yeah. Maybe
just,
like for like once or twice. It wouldn't be funny all the time.
But yeah, that's let us know your thoughts on Cheeto Vera and Dominic Cruz. It's such a good matchup. I'm gonna go Dominic Cruz by decision. I could easily see Cheeto Vera getting a knockout.
Yeah, I'm going Cheeto by knockout, dude. I
don't think that's a bad bet at all.
I think Dom's chin's catching up to him a lot.
Like I said, he leaves it out there and he has his mouth hanging open the whole fight these days.
And he was a mouth breather the whole fight.
Yeah, but that fight should be very exciting. I think if you're a fan of the bantamweight division, that fight is a very important fight. Yeah. I think it's going to dictate a lot of things that are about to happen. But yeah, let us know your thoughts. Make sure to follow us. Make sure to follow, like we were talking about earlier, Carlos Nava at He Dreams Boxing on Instagram, and then Banks Marley, which is Miles Banks on Instagram. Make sure to check those guys out. They're very exciting, very good. Make sure to keep an eye out for this next Fury event, August 14th. We'll catch you guys next time.